Today I'll be giving my influence speech. By the way, my name is Sean Fuller. Thank y'all for listening. Life has a funny way of showing itself. There's a billion people, places around the world. Now, how do you let that affect yourself into today's reality? Because there are so many things that can be an influence to you. Today I would like to express to you some of the best people and places that have given me a big influence on this earth. First, I would like to tell you someone who's been the biggest influence in my life, my father. I admire him with everything he has done. No matter what the consequence is, he's always there for my family. When there is a time a family member needs mental and physical help, you can always count on him. But I never could find a moment in my life where he didn't have his hand down to pick someone up. There's so many traits that my dad has that I wish I had. A few years ago, my family was on a breaking point to where nobody was talking to no one or anybody. He thought to himself, this isn't what family does. So in his right mind, he showed how grateful he was for everyone and showed how everyone is grateful for each other. That's how I want to be as a father and a family figure. And that's just the biggest influence on me. When I think of my dad, I think of how I want to be for my kids, for my own family. When I was a little kid, my dad found a good way of punishing me and my sister when we weren't getting along. He made a shirt called the Get Along shirt. We didn't like it, but it kind of brought us together in a way that we didn't think it was, and that was a great punishment that he did on us that we thought. My dad is also a great role model. He's done everything that he wishes that he has ever done, from being a mechanic, from being an actor, from being even a police officer. And that's how I want to live my life, because that is how I want to be. Next, I will tell you about a place that has given me everything I've asked for. Have you ever heard of the saying, "A home is where the heart is"? I didn't figure that out at a young age, but when I was 15, we just had moved back into my grandparents' house, realizing that my family is my home. Seeing that I wasn't really focused on trying to find a place for myself, when I figured out this time, family was my home, and it was only making time fly by spending every second with it. It finally made more sense when I was older, because it was my safe place to be, knowing that I will always be at home for me to go to, wherever I am in life, no matter what happens. Finally, I'm going to talk about an experience that I had in my life that changed my life for the way I see it into today's world. When I was 13 years old, my mom had an addiction with painkillers. Now, at the time, I didn't understand what that meant, but I knew it wasn't good. She had been on it my whole life from when I came out her belly. Things started to get worse when I was a freshman in high school. She saw that it was affecting her and around us, her family. So she went to rehab and got the help she needed. She went for 3 months while I was in high school. This affected my life because I wasn't living with the person my dad had married. When she finally got out, I finally knew my mom was and started to get to know her all over. I knew my mom was in pain, but she kept on pushing forward when her life was trying to be the mother she wanted to be. From the day she went in to the day she got out, she changed everything about herself, and I'm so thankful for this day. To this day, I know there is always help for you out there. All you got to do is just go look for it. And don't dig yourself a hole far, because it's going to be hard to climb back up from it. She taught me, though, that it's okay to ask for help and that no one's perfect. And that's how I look at it. And that even though I'm saying the speech, it's not even perfect, so I accept being not perfect. And that's always been the biggest influence on me, is how she is. In conclusion, today I've shared to you some of the major influences in my life. I've talked to you about the effect my life for the better for me. When you think about what I've said and about who and where has made a big influence on your life, and I thank y'all for listening for me to talk about my life.